Hi everyone, my name is Piterpakulski. Today we will continue building financial model of a bakery. This will be a small business model. I hope you will enjoy it. Give us a like please, share, subscribe. You can also order financial models from scratch for your unique business ideas. We can help you with that. Today we have multiple tasks. I would like to finish with revenues. I would like to put the revenues inside the timeline. So I will be modeling the revenues inside the time horizon of our business idea. At the end screen of this video, I will give you the links to the playlist where I will be keeping all these tutorials. And when I finish this model, I will place all the links on the tutorials in the description of this video as well. So you may watch all the process of creating this financial model from scratch, video by video, tutorial by tutorial. So I hope you will enjoy it. So first of all, let's quickly run through what we did before. So we have the unique rule through the whole financial model, so that blue cells are our inputs, other cells are formulas, so we're not touching them during scenario modeling. So we are playing only with inputs in blue cells. So here on the first tab called model, we have the list of types of bread, types of cakes, everything what we are selling in our bakery. So this is the list of what we are selling. So we can switch on and off different types of products from calculations to see the cash flow statement with or without this or that type of bread, cake, and so on. Then we specify the monthly sales plan, how many units of bread will be sold monthly. Then we have global and local coefficient for this value, so this will be needed during the scenario modeling. So if we would like to increase the sales plan globally on 20% or decrease the sales plan for specific items and take, for example, only 80% of sales plan, so we'll be using these coefficients. Then we are specifying the selling price for each item. We have local and global coefficients for pricing. Then we get the revenues. Then we have the list of ingredients which play part in these products, cakes, breads, and so on. So these are the ingredients. This is the price per unit of each ingredient, so we can switch on and off different ingredients and see what will happen with simple discounted payback period. During scenario modeling, we have global and local coefficients for ingredient costs. Here it is. So if we want to increase all ingredient prices, for example, on 20%, we can go here and type 120. If we want to decrease or increase some specific ingredients prices, we can go here and use local coefficients. Then here on the next tabs, we have the tab with the recipes. So here from top to the bottom, we have the list of what we produce, different types of breads, cakes, and so on. So here they are. Then from left to right, we have the list of ingredients. And then here in this area of inputs, we specify the consumption of this or that ingredient to produce one item of, for example, bread 1. So for bread 1, we need 5 units of ingredient number 1 and 8 units of ingredient number 15. So, and then we will get the cost, the direct cost per bread 1. If we go here we can see the final direct cost for bread number 1. And then this story this story. Then this story comes here, and then we can play with this value further. Then we decided that we need to introduce some types of customers. Here they are, we can name them. Then we decided that we would like to allocate the revenues that we have between these customers. Then these are the revenues per type of customer. And then we decided to introduce an average check per type of customer to calculate how many customers monthly we have. So this is the monthly value, and this is the amount of customers per day. Why we decided to do that? We decided to do that because so these values of sales plan may be irrelevant, and these revenues may be irrelevant. So we may be putting pink glasses, we may be living in the world of fake numbers. For example, if we split these revenues between these types of customers, get this number of customers monthly, and see this amount of customer per day, we may say that this is unrealistic numbers. So we need to decrease, first of all, the revenues, or first of all we can reallocate the revenues if we see that still we have big numbers, daily numbers of customers. These are relevant values. So this means that we need to decrease the sales plan, and this is how your model starts moving to realistic revenues, realistic costs, realistic payback period. So we are starting with recipes to create detailed costs. Then we are starting with types of customers, and then we calculate finally the amount of customers daily. And if we see that this number is okay, we can move forward. If we see that this number is too big, this means that we need to decrease our sales plan. And this is how the future business owner can see his mistakes in assumptions in time, because if you won't create these types of customers, if you avoid this block of inputs, you will be, when you open your business, you won't be able to reach the revenues that you planned, that you have as targets. So that's why we need to create the customers types to calculate the realistic amount of customers per day. If you see that this number is okay, you can move forward. If you see that it is too big, you need to work with sales plan and decrease the amount of customers. So that's why we are creating this block. So first of all, what I would like to do for future scenario analysis, for example, if we for example see that this type of customer is too optimistic, I would like to have an opportunity to switch it off, to see how this type of customer affects simple payback period, discounted payback period, and so on, so cash flow and further. So that's why what I will do, I will create on-off button switcher. For that I will use data validation list will go up. Here we have on and off statuses. So these are the inputs. So I'm coloring these inputs with blue because blue is unique color for all our inputs. So now we need to explain Microsoft Excel that if we have on, this means 1, off means 0. So if this value equals to this value, we will put 1, otherwise 0. So if we would like to switch it off, so the next step, we need to calculate direct costs, the level of monthly direct costs. Direct costs, dollar per month. So what I will do, I will have cost per product and multiply it on the sales plan. So all numbers at the moment are imaginary, so I'm just showing you the algorithm. We can specify the numbers later when we'll be close to final overview of this model. So these are the costs. So what I would like to do, so for example, I would like to cost be lower than the revenues. So let me increase the prices, let's say 5 times. Or like 7 times, let's say. I just want to have this number bigger than this number, so that's why I'm doing it. So prices final will be, I will copy this value, paste it here. So now our prices are higher than our direct costs. Then here I will create the totals for monthly direct costs. So I'm taking a total for this column. Now I can level of direct costs in revenue. This will be a percentage. So I take this value divided by revenue. So let's increase it a little bit more. So for example, in this case, we can see that the level of direct costs is 47% inside the revenues. So here we have the revenues per type of customer monthly, and now we need to add direct costs. So what we will do now, revenues final dollar per month. Here I will have direct cost dollar per month. So I will take these revenues multiplied on this coefficient, then what I will do, I will use these revenues multiplied on 47%. This will be the level of direct costs. So these are the final revenues monthly. These are direct costs. If I want to exclude some customers, type of customers, if I think, for example, so we are too optimistic with this, for example, type of customer and this type of customer, we can switch them off and see what will be the cash flow statement without these types of customers. So next story, we need to put these values, direct expenses and revenues, inside the timeline. So let's go up and create the list of years and months. So first of all, our model will start in 2023. We will have 10-year horizon. So this will be the list of years. The first year will be as input, so we're coloring it with blue. This will be the list of months. So what we will do now, I will create here, so the important thing is that when we start the business, we won't be able to reach these target revenues right from the first month. So we will be reaching these target revenues step by step, month by month, and this may cause some operating losses that we have to take into account, because this will increase the level of financing that we'll need to start the business. So that's why we need to create some block of inputs where we will be setting up the speed with which we will be reaching the target revenues. So let's go here and create a new block of inputs, reaching target revenues. Let's start with operating activity start. So this will be year, month. So let's start with this block. So year, I will take from the top data validation list, then I will go up. Year I will be pulling from this list, so this will be the input, so I'm coloring it with blue. Month I will be pulling also from the top as well, so data validation list, so this is input as well. And now let's create the input block of inputs where we'll be setting up the speed, how we are reaching the target revenues. So reaching target revenues. So let's assume that we will have 12 months period to reach the target revenues. And this month will be extrapolated. So the first year will be 2023. The first month will be May. So now I will be using VLOOKUPs. So for that purpose I will need to make some additional preparations. I will do it now, so they are not complicated. So May is 5th month inside the typical year, so I'm using VLOOKUP. I'm searching for this value. This value in this table. I will need the second column and exact match. Now I need to be counting this month. So if this plus 1 is more than 12, I will put 1, otherwise I'm doing this exercise. So these are the month numbers. Now I need to assign the month names according to these numbers. I will be using VLOOKUPs for that. So I will be searching for this value in the table on the top. I will need the second column and exact match. So these are the months. Then we're doing the next exercise with years. So if this value equals to 12, we will be using this value plus 1. Otherwise, we're just taking the previous value without adding a 1. So here we can see how new year starts. Then, so this is our timeline for this block of inputs. Then here we're placing the types of customers. So here on the left I will place 5 types of our customers. And here will be the area for inputs. This will be percentage format. So for example, this type of customer we will be reaching the target revenues right from the first month of operating activity. So by the way, if we would like to change our operating activity start from October, we can easily do that. So for example, customer type number 1, we will be reaching these revenues for this customer just from the first month. Then for example, for customer number 2, we will be reaching, for example, 30% of target revenues from the first month, then 60, then 90, then 100, for example. The third, for example, will be 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Then for the fourth, for example, it will be 15, 30, And for the last type of customer, for example, we can see 0, 3, 5, 15, let's say for example 40, 50, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, and 100% finally. So for all of these types of customers, for all of them, we may have different speeds with which they reach the target revenues. So now we need to build the timeline. So the first year will be so timeline project timeline. So we will have a 10-year timeline. So the first year will be 2023. Oh no, the first year we will be pulling from here. The next year I will be using this value +1. Now let's just copy these values and paste them here. So this will be, let's create some colors for different years. Now let's copy these formats. By the way, let's freeze the first column. So why we were wasting time for that? So for example, if we would like to displace the whole project and start it in 2024, all our timelines will be displaced automatically. And we won't have to retype, because when we are retyping we are making mistakes, and in order to avoid multiplying all these mistakes, would better optimize the project timeline to avoid. So if you are able to write a formula, because when you will be building scenarios you may forget to change some numbers somewhere, and you will make mistakes. That's why we are trying to optimize even the timelines inside the project. So first of all, we will create the project operating activity start. So if and so this value equals to this value, and this value will equals to this value, we will put 1, otherwise 0. Here it is. This is the moment when we start operating activity. Then operating activity 0, 1, so we will be later linking all our fixed costs, salaries to this line. So 1 means that we have an operating activity at this moment, and 0 means that we do not have operating activity at this moment. So all salaries, all fixed costs will be later linked to this line. Then operating activity count 0, 1, 2, 3. So these are the months of operating activity. Then I want to find the end of investment stage. So these numbers are very important because this is the first, the second, the third month of operating activity. These months are these months, and now we will be putting these percentages to this month, this percentage to this month, this percentage 10th month of operating activity we will place here, and this is how we will be reaching our target revenues. First of all, we will put percentages, then we will move from percentages to the money format. So investment stage end will be here, 1 month prior to the start of operating activity. Then the next step, we will be counting months of investment stage. So if and this value equals to 0 and this one equals to 0, we will put 0, otherwise. The second condition, if this is 0 but this is more than 0, we will put 1, otherwise we will take previous value plus 1 and closing the brackets. Extrapolating this from right to left. So these are months of the investment stage. Then we're closing this table. Then we are copying the timeline. So let's type reaching target revenues percentage. So these are types of customers. So here we will place our types of customers. So, and here I will write the formula. So if this value, I will freeze this line. If this line equals to 0, we'll put 0, otherwise. If this equals to 1, I will put here this value. I will freeze here a column. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, more than 12, 0, and here we are closing the brackets. So these will be the percentage format. 1, 2, 3, then here we will place extrapolate the value. If this will be more than 12, Then so here will be B, then 2 will be C, so we are using these percentage values in this formula. Now let's press enter. So now we can see how percentages are changing here. So for example, if we would like to displace the project to, for example, to April, we can see what happens. So we don't need to retype, we don't need to, we won't make mistakes. So for example, we can, for example, adjust the values here. So we can see here how everything is changing, and we don't need to manually retype the inputs. So we are working only here and here. So now we can create the table for the revenues. So what I will do now, I will put equals. Let's go up. So here we have the revenues. I'm freezing the column. And then I multiply it on this percentage. So these are the target revenues, 1611. And here we can see how we are reaching this 1611 step by step. So the first month we have only 306573 according to percentages assigned here, and we are reaching these target revenues step by step. And here we will be able to see in the cash flow statement whether we have or do not have operating losses. And if we do have losses, we will have to invest to bring additional financing to our project. That's why these values in scenario modeling are very, very, very important, because you will be able to see the additional financing needed for your business idea. So these are the revenues. This will go to cash flow statement. These are direct costs. So I will take the same percentages, but going to the top, I will be using these values from this column. So these are direct costs. They will go to the cash flow statement. These are revenues. So we can easily, for example, displace our project. For example, if we want to start the project not from April but from August, we can see how everything displaced from to August, and all these percentages has been displaced starting with August. And for example, if we want to switch off some customer types from calculations, let's see, for example, we would like to switch off customer type number 2 and number 5, for example. We can do it here and see zeros here, zeros here, zeros here, and zeros here, and we will be able to see these zeros in cash flow statement. We will be able to see the simple and discounted payback period, how it changed, and this is very valuable during scenario modeling. So this will help you a lot to see how stable your business idea, and whether you are too optimistic, how this or that type of customer affects your business idea. So this was the story about the revenues and direct costs. Please give us a like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. You can also order financial models from scratch for your unique business ideas. We can help you with that. At the end screen of this video, I'll give you the link to the playlist where I will be keeping all these tutorials. And when I finish this model, I will give you the link. I will give you all the links in the description of this video, so you can watch all the process from scratch, watching one by one all the tutorials. So thank you guys for watching. See you next videos. Thank you and bye.